Yo, what's going on everyone at Chaotic HQ? Kaos Spev here, back once again with another Gears of War 2 commentary. And this is actually not my gameplay at all. My buddy Chaos DJ, most of y'all know him, he is having a problem right now. He's not able to commentate, and so I'm using some of his gameplay and commentating for him, so I hope you guys enjoy. I actually haven't watched the game, but I did skip to the end, and he gets an insane amount of kills, so I know you guys are really going to enjoy the gameplay. And I don't know exactly what's going to happen, so I'm going to sit here and enjoy it with you guys. And what I wanted to talk about today was September 11th. As you can see from the date that I'm posting this, it is indeed September 11th today as well. And I don't think I really need to tell any of you guys, what September 11th is. We all know 9/11, September 11th, the terrorists attacked the World Trade Centers in New York, and so many thousands of people died. I remember the morning that happened. I was in grade school. I remember my parents didn't wake me up that morning. I forget what grade I was in, like 3rd or something. And usually my mom would, come in and shake me awake, or my dad before he went to work, he'd wake me up early, and so I could get ready for school or whatever. I remember I woke up that morning by myself because no one woke me up, and I was like, I wonder what's going on. And I walked downstairs, and my mom was watching the television, and I was like, what's going on? And she just really didn't have anything to say. Like, she was almost kind of speechless. It was really awkward and weird. And I watched the news with her, and she's just like, look at the TV, look what's happening. And by that time, the World Trade Centers had already been under attack. And I think right when I was watching was like right after the second bombing. And it was honestly just crazy. I also remember, I went to school that day, and my teachers were like completely, just absolutely paranoid. It was so weird. It was just an awkward day. Even the students, at that age, a lot of us really didn't have any idea what exactly, the magnitude of what happened. We're just like, there's a terrorist thing that happened, and a lot of people died. And, I guess at that age, not a lot of us really knew exactly what happened. I remember all my teachers were just scared, literally shitless. I live on the West Coast, so don't get me wrong. I'm not talking about how like we're in a school in like New York or something, and I'm like a mile away from this. But still, even across the country, that just shows how big of a thing it was. Even people across the country were just absolutely, terrified and, just so absolutely devastated by what happened. I don't know how much you guys remember, but the craziest thing to me was just how long it took for simply the smoke to settle and the rebel to stop moving. That was the thing that was just so ridiculous to me. It wasn't like, oh, it took a long time for the relief efforts to, be finished and, everything to be cleaned up. I can totally understand that, but just for the smoke to stop smoking and, rubble to stop, shaking and, because it was just such a big disaster. That thing's just crazy to me, and how such an event can send us almost to war. I'm not going to get into anything political, but just how it caused such a huge deal, which I totally understand because it was an attack on our soil. And just the whole issue with airport security after, it was just such a huge event. And I just hope you guys take some time today to at least think about it. It doesn't really matter where you live, to be honest. Like, I'm on the West Coast. Doesn't matter if you were on the West Coast or if you were literally, like, your family was impacted or whatever. Just take a minute to, just take a silent moment to just, like, think about it. It was such a big thing, and, just kind of show your respect even if you had no connection to it at all. So yeah, I'll go into that a little bit later, a couple more details. But what I want to talk about for, I guess, the remainder of the commentary was like Gears 3. We got Gears 3 in 10 days. Today is, well, actually, it's 9/11 today. We got it in 9 days. That's crazy. I can't wait to go get Gears of War 3. I don't know about you guys, but I have a lot of big plans. Unfortunately, I'm going to be putting in a little bit of cash. I'm going to be buying the Epic Edition, which is, I'm so excited for. It comes with some pretty sick stuff. I guess it comes with like a Marcus statue, which is kind of cheesy, but it comes with some awesome other stuff. And Gears 3 only comes out once. That's the way I think about it. Is the game only comes out once. I've been waiting for this game for so many years, literally.
that I really don't mind putting some extra money into it. And also, I am going to get the Gears 3 Limited Edition Xbox. I've been kind of needing some new controllers for a while. It comes with 2 controllers. It has a sick layout. The Xbox looks awesome. And also, I believe when you turn it on, don't quote me on this one, but I believe it has like a Gears of War sound or something when you turn it on, which is awesome. And I think it's around $400, but I've had my Xbox since '07, and it is literally, it's the Halo 3 Xbox that came out a long time ago as like less than a 20 gig hard drive, and it's terrible. I have one of those Nyko fans on it, and it sounds like a freaking like leaf blower, like I'm out like blowing leaves or something in the yard. It's terrible. And even in some of my old live commentaries, like you could hear it in the background, it was so loud. But anyways, yeah, I'm going to get Epic Edition and also going to get that Xbox. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting those. It's going to be sweet, and I'll be all pumped for Gears 3. So yeah, what else to talk about, guys? Do you guys remember, everyone that played the beta? I hope you guys all got to play the beta, because it was amazing. I loved it so much, even with the sawed-off and the Retro Lancer. It was just incredible. Remember how long it was? Like 3 or 4 months? It was in April, and we were all just complaining, oh man, we gotta wait like 4 or 5 months. It's insane. We gotta wait so long for Gears 3, and we were complaining. But now we got like a week, just over a week left, and that week's gonna go by just like any of your other weeks go by in your life. It's gonna be just, quick, snap, and it's gonna be gone. And then we're all gonna be at midnight launch, or at least I'm gonna be at midnight launch. I definitely think that you guys should as well, because I didn't go to the midnight launch for Gears of War 2. I got it the morning it came out. I just didn't feel like going to midnight, because I didn't think they were going to give any cool things away. Like, they gave away the golden hammer burst. I ended up getting a code later for that. But, I'm definitely going to the midnight launch for Gears 3. I hope they have some golden weapons, or, at least some cool stuff there. Either way, whether they do or not, I'm sure that they will. It's just going to be the experience, because I've actually never gone to a midnight launch, because I got Gears of War 1 right after it came out, and that's what actually made me get an Xbox. I was playing at one of my friends, and I was like, oh, I have to get this. This is early '07, and right after it came out, and I just had to get it. I bought my Xbox for Gears of War 1, and that's why I didn't go to the midnight release for that. And like I just said, I didn't go to one for Gears 2. And I'm not really too, thrilled about any other games. I'm not really too much of a big gamer besides Gears. I do play Call of Duty and stuff like that. But, I've never gone to a midnight launch or anything, so definitely for Gears 3, I'm going to be so pumped to go to midnight for that, because it's going to be my first midnight, release, and it's definitely going to be the best game ever. Like, hands down, it's going to be what I've been waiting for years. So I'm really looking forward to that. It's going to be awesome. And yeah, what about after the midnight release? What's going to go down after that, especially on Kaotic HQ? I can guarantee you guys, we are going to have literally like montages every single day. We're going to have sick gameplay episodes, and it's just going to be non-stop. We're going to have probably 2 uploads a day, I'm thinking. I was talking to Drew the other day, and we're going to probably be having 2 uploads a day. I can't wait for the Gears community to explode. Gears 3 is going to be so much bigger than any of the other Gears have, and I can just feel it. I think you guys can too, and I think the community, on YouTube is going to explode. I'm really looking forward to that, when videos are getting, like 2-3 times the amount of thousands of views that they get now, or even more than that. I don't know. I hope so. But, ooh, that was a nice headshot, DJ. Yeah, DJ had a pretty good gameplay. I hope you guys have been paying attention to it. He does get, definitely look at his score after the game. He gets a sick amount of kills. It's crazy. Gears 2 is a hard game for me, because I lag really bad always. And, with the Gears 2 and lagging, it's not a good combination. But I definitely can't wait to, play Gears 3 without the lag. And, people like DJ that, oh my god! I did not see, remember I said at the beginning of the commentary, I didn't preview this game at all. Ooh, wow, that was a nice clutch. I didn't preview this game at all, so I've been watching with you guys. I didn't expect that. That was crazy. But what I was saying before is, like, just imagine, sick players like DJ here, a great part of our team, think about what they're going to do in Gears 3, without any of the lag and anything. It's going to be great, I can't wait to just do work on kids in Gears 3. It's going to be awesome. So yeah, as we're heading towards the end of the commentary here, guys, I kind of just wanted to bring it up once again. You know, today is September 11th. You know, it's a big day in you know, America's history, and you know, I know we have like a lot of UK viewers and as well as Americans, and even from other countries as well. But you know, it doesn't matter where you're from. You know, I'm sure everybody has heard of this. And you know, just take it in your heart. Just, you know, spend a little bit of time today, just a few minutes of your time, to have this event in your thoughts, and all the people that were affected by this. It was so devastating. I really, there's not any other word to describe it better than that. It was just terrible. But you know, have a few minutes in your thoughts to just, you know, think about it. Think of all the people that were affected. And if you have any stories, guys, I hope you know, you don't have to, but I hope that people, you know, in the comment section, share some of their stories, how they were affected by, you know, September 11th, all of that. I can't wait to read some of the stories from people, and I'm sure they're going to get a lot of thumbs up and stuff like that. So if you do have a story, please do participate. I'm sure, you know, everyone would enjoy, you know, listening to you and hearing what you went through, or, you know, how it affected you, or just, you know, anything. But yeah, that just about wraps it up for the gameplay, guys. DJ had a sick gameplay today. He got 20 kills. That's awesome. Got some nice multi-kills. He hasn't been able to commentate this match, so I decided to help him out. You know, buddy of mine, I decided to help him out and commentate this for him. And I hope you guys enjoyed. I definitely enjoyed, especially last round. There was that sick point-blank headshot. That was definitely one of my favorite shots of the game. But yeah, anyways, guys, that just about wraps it up for the gameplay. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to leave a comment and let me know what you thought. And yeah, September 11th, guys, you know, just have it in your thoughts. And what a great way to end the match. DJ just popping heads as usual. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will talk to you guys soon. Peace out, guys. It's been Spev, and I'm out. Peace out, guys.